Welcome back to the Women's Growth Series. I'm Jamie Cavanaugh, Chief Operating Officer at Amerifund Home Loans, and I am here to share my expertise today on relationship building. So I get asked a lot where my business comes from. And the way that we have built the company is based on my partner Brad's and my book of business, which we have built and kept track of and nurtured over about the last 25 years. And I've also been asked, how long did it take us to build a 100% referral-based business? Well, it wasn't easy. When we started out in the industry, and Brad started a bit before I did, but then I came into the picture and joined him back in the late 90s. It was a lot of just really providing excellent service and staying consistent in the communication with not only the customers that we were serving, but especially with the referral partners. A lot of active listening. What did they need? How did they each work individually, and what was working best for their businesses? So, most of us, our referral partners, are real estate agents. So one realtor might need something very different than another. One might work best in today's world with texting, whereas another really just might prefer a phone call. You've got to understand what your referral partners need and want. Some may want you to provide them with open house flyers before each open house on a weekend, and others might not need that at all and might really just be looking for somebody who's always available on the weekends to take calls and handle pre-approvals for them. You've got to know your audience, you've got to know your referral partners, and you've got to care enough to understand their needs and be willing and available to partner with them to meet those needs. So in terms of how long it took us to become a 100% referral-based business, it took years, years and years and years of not only proving ourselves as consistent, good communicators, but also experts in our field, professionals who were willing to not just take the easy clients, but take the difficult clients and have the tough conversations. There are a lot of instances where you might be asked to issue a pre-qual or a pre-approval before you really have all the information that you need to make the decision. And part of building excellent referral relationships with real estate agents and others who might be sending business your way is having the confidence and having the trust mutually to be able to stop and say, you know what, either no or not yet. I don't have enough information yet to give you a pre-approval on this particular customer, and it would be irresponsible of me to send you out with this client shopping for homes when I really can't tell you for sure that this person is ready to go. So I think that becoming a referral-based business has a lot more to do with building trust, being consistent, reliable, and honest than it does with how many years you've been in the business or how much knowledge you have or whether you can cite a guideline off the top of your head. It really is about the communication and the consistency. I've also been asked a lot about our CRM. Over the years, we've had many. I think we're on our fifth CRM at this point, just due to the fact that technology evolves, businesses evolve, things change so very much in our industry. I mean, when we started in the business, we had Excel spreadsheets, and now we have a CRM that's highly, highly automated and highly technical. So how do we maintain it? Well, the first thing we've always done, and I credit my partner for this immensely, is we've always tracked and kept the basic contact information on everybody that we come in contact with. So it's always a name, it's always an email address, it's always a good working phone number. And we reach out to our clients. Now, today, that looks like our team doing that on our behalf. But for the smaller shops and those independent LOs who don't have a team quite yet, it's you reaching out to your clients. There is always a good reason to reach out to your client as a talking point every 6 months and say, hey, we're reaching out to our clients and our referral partners just to touch base and make sure we have your most updated contact information. Is this still a good mailing address for you? Is this still a good phone number for you? Is this the best number that I'm reaching you on? Is this still a good email address that I've got here for you? Make sure you keep your contact information up to date and fresh. And if it's not up to date, update it. If you have contacts that are no longer good, get rid of them. So, we've had situations where we've had referral partners over the last 20 years who've retired. There's no point in having that individual still as an active referral partner in my system. I'd be wasting my time if I had my team constantly calling those individuals because they're no longer actively referring business. They're not in the industry any longer. So I would keep them on a slower drip type of a campaign where maybe I'm still there. They're getting emails from me occasionally and they're part of my distribution list, but they're not the people that I'm going to be calling every 3 to 6 months asking for referral business or checking in on the market when I know they're not in the market anymore. The other question I get a lot is, how has data changed over the last 20 years? Well, when we started out in the business, emails weren't really all that big and texting didn't exist. So what has changed is really, I think, the way that we communicate with our customers and with our referral partners. We've asked a lot of questions of our referral partners on how they like to communicate, as I mentioned before. And so there's always the question of, how do you keep things personal when you're texting? How do you maintain the personal touch when you're dealing with things via email? Well, it's not that difficult. We've never stopped picking up the phone. We've never stopped doing the things that we know show our customers and our referral partners that we know who they are. One of the ways that we do this is our CRM. No matter what CRM we've ever used, it has an area for notes. And so going all the way back in time to the very first conversations that we've had with our referral partners and with our clients, we tell their story. So I know my clients and their history. I know the names of their kids. I know where they work. If I've got a client who's a teacher here in our local community in our school district, I know that information and I note it. I know where they may have gone to college. I know things that are unique about them that we've had conversations about. I do this not just because I want to remember, but also because now that I do have a team, my team members can note that information and they can reference it later. And it means a lot to our customers and our referral partners. It means a lot when Dustin on my team is talking to Jane and says, I remember, I'm seeing here in the notes that Jamie helped you buy your first home here in Simi Valley 20 years ago. And it looks like you've sold that home and now you've moved into a different home since that time. Wow, back when you started working with her, you had a kindergartner. By now, your kindergartner must have graduated from high school and, might even be in college. How is Justin doing? I can't tell you what that means to our clients. I can't tell you how important it is for them to know that we care about them and that they're more than a commodity to us. And making a note like that, it takes the onus off of you and your humanity to remember everything about in our case, 17,000 people in our database, and it bookmarks the information about that person so that whomever touches that client, whomever interacts with that client later, has a little bit of their story and can continue to make them feel that they're part of our family because they are. And that is really, by and large, how we personalize our relationships, how we keep things fresh with our clients, and how we continue to make them feel as important as they really are to us and to our business. And then in terms of how we personalize things like texts and emails and the like, believe it or not, we do have templates for all of these things, but we're really strategic about how we word these messages. We don't have, we don't use a lot of really formal greetings and things like that. We use things like, hey, hi, not things like Dear Joe or greetings. It's always something that looks and sounds and reads the way that it would if I were talking to you on the phone. I wouldn't pick up the phone and say, greetings, Joe. I would say, hey, Joe, how are you? How's it going? I hope you're doing well. That is the way that we handle our text and email messaging. We do it exactly the way we would if we were on the phone with somebody. And we always, always, always follow up any text and any emails with a phone call, because phone calls will never get old. They are important and they are a critical component to building and maintaining a personal relationship with your referral partners, with your customers. And then I've also been asked, how do we contact our borrowers and how often do we do it? Well, it really kind of depends on the situation. So we have some milestones that we always keep up with. And those are things like birthdays and anniversaries. Those are things that, are always automatically calendared for us, and our CRM reminds us when those dates come up. And a phone call is always placed to our referral partners and to our customers whenever there's a birthday, whenever there's an anniversary or anything like that. There's always a phone call, always, an email or a text follow-up saying, hey, I just left a message for you, but I want to make sure you got the message. Happy birthday, happy anniversary, hope it's a great day. We also do, as I mentioned, every 6 months, no matter what, like clockwork, we are always scrolling through our database and checking in. It's always a check-in. How are you doing? Just calling to touch base. The only purpose of this call is to make sure we have your up-to-date contact information. Surprisingly enough, those simple calls, those calls where we're not calling to hound them for a loan, we're not calling to ask them for a referral, we're really, truly, genuinely calling to make sure we have the right contact information for them. But it almost always leads into a conversation about, hey, how are rates? What's going on in the market right now? What are you guys seeing a lot of in the loan world? And we start to talk to them, and a decent percentage of those turn into loans or referrals because we've maintained the relationship. We've stayed top of mind. Another way that we contact our referrals and our borrowers is via email. We have a weekly video email blast that goes out to our database, and it's always something that is offering value without an ask. It's really, really important to us in our business model and the way that we've built the business that we're offering something of value to our partners without constantly pushing on them to send us a loan or to refer us a client. So what we do is we take a look at what are the common questions that our referral partners and borrowers have been asking us over the past weeks. What are the newsworthy topics that are out there in the world? So it might be, rates have dropped again. It might be that the purchase market is heating up. It might be something as simple as what is a credit score, or what's the difference between a pre-qual and a pre-approval. We do a short video. We try to keep it under a minute, and we send it out to the entire database, including our referral partners, on a weekly basis. And then what we do is we have the team call these individuals that are receiving these and say, hey, did you see Jamie's video on pre-approvals versus pre-quals? Can I answer any questions for you on that? It's another talking point. It's another way to touch that customer, to touch that referral partner, and stay top of mind with them. So we've got emails going out every week without an ask. We have got calls every 6 months at a minimum just to touch base and make sure we've got the contact information up to date. And of course, we are also paying attention to the last loan we did for our clients. So we know where their rate is, where their loan amount is, what they've got, and we know when it's time to talk to them about a potential refinance to save them money. We know when our clients are out there shopping for homes. We know when we've got an active pre-approved buyer that's out shopping and looking for something, and we are constantly following up with them at least weekly to make sure that their pre-approval stays fresh, that we can answer any questions that are coming up for them. We can run some scenarios if they want to look at different price ranges and see what the mortgage payment looks like at a different price point. We're there, always actively engaged with them to do that. And that is really the way that we have maintained the business. It's the way we've grown the business. And I believe it's the reason that we've got the level of referral business that we have here. And it's truly what has sustained Amerifund through every market fluctuation and all of these decades of ups and downs, and through several refi booms and the aftermath of those as well. Consistency, communication, those are the cornerstones of any sustainable business. And I would say to everybody watching, I can't stress this enough. It has nothing to do with how long you've been in the business. It doesn't have anything to do with your knowledge. You can gain those things. Every loan is a puzzle. Every borrower's story is different. And it takes time to gain that knowledge. It takes time to experience different loan scenarios and get different loans under your belt, or to see the same type of loan a few times over until you've got a little bit of a routine going, and you can say to yourself, oh, I've seen that 3 or 4 times. I know exactly what to do with that type of a loan or with that question. But what you can do today, no matter your level of experience and expertise, is you can commit to being the person who follows through on what they say they're going to do. You can commit to being the person that when you say you're going to find the answer, you do it. When you say you're going to return the call, you do it. When you don't know the answer, you're willing to say, I'm not sure, but I will get the right answer for you. And like I said before, you'll do it. It's that follow through and that consistency, I believe, that really makes the difference. And it does set you apart from so many of the others out there in our industry who, believe it or not, don't do those very basic things that give you the credibility, the trust, and the respect that will lead you into a very, very successful and sustainable career in this industry through any market. So I hope this information has been super helpful to all of you. I thank you for watching, and I would encourage anybody, please, at any time, reach out to me personally. I love nothing more than to help out another LO, another broker, and if there's anything that I can do to help you, if there are any questions you have that weren't answered here that I can take a few minutes with you to answer, please reach out anytime. My information is here in the Facebook chat, and we'd be happy to help. Have a great day.